Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 for Tuesday, January the 24th, 2023. I'm going to start by saying thanks. I got a lot of really great comments yesterday, and thank you guys for showing support and also sharing your thoughts and ideas about what the markets are doing. I got enough information, and the market, I believe, has kind of let us know what's really going on, in my opinion. And instead of pulling it all the way back to the primary degree, I continue to feel that we are within a larger primary C wave down. But I do feel that that intermediate wave 2 completion point that I had marked here at 4180, I believe can be in jeopardy. So I think if I take that out, what then could it be? And just being that this was an ABC, and this basically can put in as an ABC, that it got to be A, B, and we're in the C wave up to complete that intermediate wave 2. And someone did comment yesterday, and they didn't really elaborate on it, just said that it's in C wave of 2. It's in C of 2. That I did ask back of what degree. What degree is this? Is the wave 2? And because I was looking at this, going like, oh well, okay, that could be the ticket. And so I'm showing it, and it's very clean and it fits. So this is on the daily, and again, starting here, we can see on the 200. This is what also gave a little bit of strength that the S&P does have support right here on the 200, while the balance of the moving averages continue to not skyrocket, but head higher. So it kind of lets me in on that that's likely we still have more to go. And it's now likely that what could it be? Granted that this first wave here was very difficult because there was a series and a lot of series of threes, and they weren't like forming higher highs. They were going flat. But I'm going with it that it was the minute wave 1 of minor wave C coming up. Again, daily chart. Things look like we will continue to move higher. Now, I will preface this by saying I've done this several times where I feel that, okay, I'll go with an alternate count, and the next day they kind of just drop off a cliff. In this particular case, what they would do is they just drop off the cliff and tell me something different. In any case, I'm going to drop down to the 4-hour chart. We're just going to walk it down, and I'll take it back down to that hourly, and we'll go into more detail here on the S&P. So once again, intermediate wave 1. This all you can see series of ABCs. That's a diagonal A. There's the B. And then we get a C, also very sloppy, very choppy, and wave A. Got a B wave. This weird, calling it 1, calling this 2. And then we start to subdivide again. Subminute 1, subminute 2. And then this is all going to be wave 3. It's strange, it's weird, but it's going to be 1, 2. And we're finishing up on 3 of 3, then a 4 of 3, and then a 5 of 3, and that finishes this 3. So we're going to bounce around, I think, up in here, maybe 4,100, and bounce in and out there. Now, dropping down to the 1-hour chart, you can kind of see it a little bit clearly more on the internals. So we got 1, 2, and then this is not nice, but it's kind of another diagonal. And this is going to be subminute 3, subminute 4, probably here. This is subminute 3, 4, and now we're in the 5 of 5. So I haven't marked it yet because, again, subminute 4 destroys this. So I bringing it back out to think, okay, I'm going to leave it to be maybe if it's 1, 2, then we're finishing up 3, 4, 5 for this third, and then a 4 and a 5 for this third, and then a 4 and a 5 for wave C. Okay, so go back out, at least to the 4-hour. Let's put in fib extensions for number one, a third wave. So I'm going to go back. Oops, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to go back down to that hourly, and we're going to put that in first. And we're going to go from here. Yeah, from here to here to here. So this is going to be for the subminute wave 3, and which we are, I believe, in, if I go 1, and that's 2, 3, 4, we're in the 5th. So I'm going to do another set from here down to here. I'm going to pinpoint. I'm going to try to pinpoint this as much. So now we're getting a little bit of overlap. So again, I'm just looking for on the sub-minute level for the completion of this 5th. And then within it, it's 5th. So we're doubling up here at 4077, 4079. Then we get a big cluster if it wants to push, give it a really nice push and get it back above 4100. And so top side, you got 4134 actually coming in right there. Now, will that complete this 3 or this 3? I think it might be completing this 3. So if we go 1, 2, and then finishing up 3, then I believe we're probably going to come in right up into here. Put a nice 4 in, put another 5 in, and ultimately, let me go back out now to that 4-hour, because now we're going to look at this larger C, and I can start taking some of these out because it's going to get very crowded fib-wise. Oh, that was wrong. Let me do that one over again. I got to do the A to the B. This is where you can get up there, not necessarily in the stratosphere, but it could be pretty good run because we still have a lot of the Titans to come in. We're getting a lot of calls, or at least somebody was talking about the like 42 to 43, or even as high as 44. Well, here it is. So again, I've not seen that count. So, but I see the fibs and they've been presented to me also in the comments. So thank you. For the subscriber who basically said my peeps, my Elliott wave peeps, that's that. And I think this is the count that they're using. So again, A, B, we're looking for where C can come in. 618 works where wave C would be 618 of wave A common. That takes us to that 42 level. But if we get a more forceful C wave, and we could, because we're still within the third, and we're still within the third of the third, I believe. So we can then, you're going to see here, 618, 4189, 4204. We have for this one, 4100 to 4140. Pretty much, I believe that's going to come in, to tell you the truth. And we could start crawling up here. Now, I want to put this into context. This, again, we're in a little bit of a disconnect because what the market is doing is the market is getting really excited about forward guidance and year-end earnings. So what did the company earn last year? Oh, and what are they going to project for this year? I think that we're going to be, yeah, let's just look at this. This is what they're saying. Microsoft stock gains as earnings decline, but cloud growth hits target. So again, and I think why we're seeing this large boost in Microsoft is that it also announced that it's putting several billion, I think it's $10 billion into artificial intelligence And the companies here in San Francisco now, it just eluded me. I apologize. Back to the analysis that they're putting money into AI, which I personally do think may take some time, may get into that inflated position real quick, come back down, and then settle out, because at first everybody's got to jump in, everybody's got to have representation that they are participating within that space, within that sector. So it suddenly has jumped very quickly. And OpenGPT, that's the company, this is what Microsoft is setting aside, and I believe investing a big portion of it in OpenGPT. So is this going to be Microsoft's next little purchase? Who knows? I don't think so, but they're going to be there. So we've got all this now. And I'm going to start taking some of it down, because ultimately the 100% is 44.63, and that's the C wave. And again, it likely would just be a minor wave 2, but it can't get up that high. Right? Then we'd have to shift this over. So once again, we're working on a price deadline. Cannot go above 43.27. So this would be out. This could be in. We get this C wave done, and this could be in. But no, intermediate wave 2 cannot exceed the starting point of intermediate wave 1. And if that happens, it's still going to be going in the same direction. So now let's get excited. But that's when I would put this over here. And this would be a 5-wave C, and this would be very strange, because then this would be A, and we're in a B wave, and this still could be A, B, and we're still in a 5-wave C, but then I would anticipate that it would take it higher. So we're going to go one step at a time. Really, we're going to go one step at a time. So going back out to that daily chart, we got that, then we got this as our next level. C can be the largest. C would be equal to A. Up here, we're not looking, but here fits very, very cleanly. And we're talking 41.80, and that fits cleanly. And we're talking about fitting it into the current economic situations. And because I got to tell you, no matter what, you're going to put the money into artificial intelligence. They're going to continue to work. We're going to go through whatever we're going to go through, whether it's a recession, whether it's a deflationary period, whatever it's going to happen, it is going to happen, because there's too many other integral parts that need to fit in, and they don't. And the only way they could fit in is if we really go through that period of deflation. And I'll likely talk about that more on this coming weekend's big picture update. For tomorrow, yet I reversed it, by the way, and I apologize that I thought today was Tesla and tomorrow's Microsoft. Opposite. Today was Microsoft, tomorrow's Tesla. Obviously, they're buying it up because they're like, well, Microsoft did well, Tesla's got to do well. So, okay. And I don't know if it will or if it won't, but we'll wait and we'll see. So, but right now, I'm going to take this guy off, because I just want, and that would be the outside the C wave. So if we're just looking, where can we find that? We're just going to look to find where we can end this particular sub-minute wave 3. And I think that could get, well, at least 40.60, 40.77, 40.94, 41.07. And then we come back down, then we go back up, and then we start to break higher. But we still have plenty of earnings reports to come out. And in fact, Apple comes out on February the 2nd or February the 1st, something like that. February the 2nd. So we're talking next week, next Thursday. So we still got room, and I'm glad that I'm seeing what the market wants to do. But it took a while, and the market had to continue doing what it needed to do. And to be honest with you, it's a collective. I mean, look at it that way. It's a collective, because you can't say based on Apple or Amazon or Microsoft that this is what the whole sectors are going to do. Like companies, yes, but let me just say remains my opinion that no, there is no company within any of the indexes that is going to be totally recession-proof or deflation-proof. And if we go through another period of deflation, as we did in 2008, 2009, and you know what kicked that off, I can't tell you what'll kick this one off, but I can tell you that in the interest rate markets, it looks like the bond prices go up, the rates will come down a little bit, but that's not going to last forever because they all signal that there's still another round of inflation yet to come. So interest rates are going to have to continue to go up. So having said all that, I'm going to go over to the NASDAQ for tomorrow. I'm going to continue to look. We're building on this little 5 waves, and that's going to be the sub-minute wave 3. And then we're going to work on a sub-minute wave 4 and a 5, and that's going to be minute wave 3. And then we're going to get another 4 and a 5, and that's going to be minor wave C, intermediate wave 2. So we have these series of finishing up 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, C. So we've got a couple of those, and this is going to look, I think, something like this. Down, and then up, and then down, and then up. So again, over in the NASDAQ, it's exactly the same story. I've actually saw it here first because it's a lot cleaner that we're in the sub-minute wave 5 to finish the minute wave 3. So I'm going to start building this on. We're going to go back. Let me just start on the daily chart. And I know this is going to be a little bit longer than normally I do, but I think it's worth it. Again, I did not go all the way back. I did not change the primary degree and moved it over, which would have then challenged all of the internal counting here. So I left this as an intermediate wave 1, excuse me. And then this was marked as intermediate wave 2. That's the one that's getting shifted around, not in terms of where it can go, but it fits what we're doing right now, how it fits into what's going on in the marketplace, how it fits into the little bit of larger pictures without really making a major shift, which would suggest we're going to get up here. Because remember, as that was being swirled around, and even I was talking about it, I kept making reference to that we needed to actually have a catalyst. I mean, what would be the catalyst that's going to drive the market to go up that high? Not that that's all that high, but it's another 2,000 points from here in the NASDAQ. And it's 200 or 300 in the, or actually 200 in the S&P. That's a lot. That's pushing a lot of money back in. Is it available? Probably. But when there's a lot of pictures going on in here that help it fit. Okay, back to what I see going on. Intermediate wave 1, A, B, we're in the C wave. Let's start to build our fibs for wave C. That would be the first one we're going to put up, where wave C should come in. Again, 618 has been exceeded. We need to get ourselves above 12,237. So where do we have? We don't have any fib in there, basically. So I'd have to go to within, right above it. So from 123, 124, that's really what I meant. I'm sorry. So, but 100% would take us up to 12,600. And that could be the completion point. Again, what we're looking on the outside is that it cannot exceed 13,738. So this is out. This could do, this could do, this could do. So here's the zone. Now, having done that, I want to take that back down. Come back down. Let's go to the 4-hour chart to begin so we can see what's inside. We had the C wave up there. Now we're going to go in the internals in here. And first thing we're going to do is, if we were to try to measure out the third wave, it's already blown through everything. So actually wave 3, cleanly the largest out of 1, 3, and 5. But I can go inside here to see where's this 5th wave going to project. And actually, I don't need to. I can go right down to the hourly. So you can see It's not pretty, but it works, and I'm leaving it for right now. So minute 1, minute 2, and then we start breaking down inside minute wave 3, all of the minor C wave, which in turn is on top of or just below that intermediate wave 2. So subminute 1, subminute 2, subminute 3, subminute 4, we're looking for where the 5 is going to come in. We're going to put in our extensions. And basically, the 100% where wave 5 is equal to wave 3 we just had could be done. And if it is, then we've got a minute 3. We're going to pull back in a minute 4, coming somewhere probably in here, maybe not even lower than 11,700. Then we're going to, because we're putting that in, we're going to put in minute 4, then we're going to do minute 5, and then we'll be done. And the minute 5th, we know can come in, go back out to that daily, can come in here. Then we back into that one, and we just need to get above 12,360, and we have 12,006. So we're up here. But then we have a little bit more here, which could fit. And again, we have a lot left in terms of earnings, and we already know how everybody reacts to earnings and all this forward guidance, and that's got to mean that inflation's dead, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It doesn't. And remember how things flow down. Always make reference to the pecking order that I call it. And what sits up at the top is interest rates. Right now, they're kind of fluctuating, but they're still a lot higher than they were, when all of this money was being pumped into the system. The Federal Reserve and the Treasury, they need to get a lot off of their balance sheets, a lot of money off of the balance sheets. So there's way too much out there. They got to get it back. So it's not going to be the happiest of times, because a lot of people, you're buying into something that's should last, but you're going to have to go through the bumps and grinds while you wait it out. So these are the long term, and they're going to be okay. They'll be okay with it because it'll be in their portfolio. And that's the next sector. And of course, that's artificial intelligence. That's kind of what's being pumped out there. And, if you haven't gone and checked out OpenGPT, do so, because it's just the brief, simplest of expressions of what artificial intelligence can do. Because with a whole bunch of different things, it'll know what to do. So it's going to be very interesting. All right. So for tomorrow here, I'm looking for the completion. And I'm going to do one more, because I'm actually thinking that we got 1, and then it's a 2, 3, and a 4. And then we're looking for this 5. So if I have to do that, I'm going to go from there to there to there. And we're just checking to see what can really kind of come in here. Right now, that's kind of bare minimum, right? We're just looking to see what wave 5 versus wave 3 would be, and likely 618. So we're already talking. Let's just take a peek. We're already talking 12,213. And that's right at that line, by the way. Remember, that line is the one that goes from all the way at the all-time high, and it goes to the March highs, the August highs, the December highs, no, but I think the January highs, okay. But I'm actually thinking that we're probably going to get one of these, because we're going to break above. I think we do get cleanly above, as we have, the 200. So we're above the hourly 200. I'm believing that we're going to get above the daily 200 before it's all said and done. This is what keeps a negative Paul at the moment on the NASDAQ, that it's still below the 200 while the other markets are above the 200. So I think it's going to jump, and everybody's going to get really excited, and that'll give us that finishing move up to like maybe 12.6. So there will be plenty of trading. Again, go with the flow, don't go against the flow. Again, today it wasn't super difficult in trading. It was a little bit more two-way, and that was better. I liked it. But it followed signals, and you were able to go long and make money, and go short and go make money. So both sides work, but you got to be a little bit more nimble and you got to be able to move in and out and be quick. All right. I'm going to kind of leave it all right there. And again, thank you for everybody who commented. I really appreciate it. I very much so appreciate hearing from people and what they think and exchanging ideas. So with that in mind, tomorrow, what do we have in terms of numbers? Wednesday, nothing. We got nothing. We got crude or, petroleum status report, EIA, and that's it. Again, Thursday, durable goods, GDP, international trade, and jobless claims. If that continues to hint towards a period of inflation or, what we're talking about moving into recession, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that the Fed will not be able to kind of come in at 25. Maybe they really have to do 50 or maybe even 75. If they change the narrative, it'll change the market's direction. Not permanently, but enough to give us the 4s and the 5s that we're looking for to complete this. And then again, then it can all kick in. So don't forget also next week, Fed meeting. So we got a lot to look forward to. All right, next update will be on Wednesday, the 25th.